A pure build of Android, rather good battery life for a smartphone-like watch, face unlock and bunch of good features, although it somehow feels lost in the big pool of smartwatch ideas and trends nowadays, the best that Kospet has come up with so far, called the Prime. Welcome, it's the Tech4All YouTube channel. My name is Michael and so nice to meet you. This is a place where we inspect cool tech. Kospet is a name known for their Android smartwatches at very tempting prices. Note that Android watches are different to the Google WearOS based watches because they act as an independent watch phone. Think of converting your smartphone into a smartwatch. The operating system here is not certified by Google and is different to WearOS, which is used with brands like Ticwatch, Fossil, Huawei, and many others. Right now, it's around $170, and you can find a link with discount in the description attached below the video. This puts the watch at a price segment above most popular sports watches, like the Amazfit GTR, the Huawei Watch GT, even above the Ticwatch E and S too. But it is more affordable than most of these WearOS devices mentioned, and also cheaper than the premium sport watches like Garmin Fenix series, and costs less even than the Vivoactive line. In fact, a couple of months ago I've reviewed the Kospet Optimus and its launch price was about the same. Quite obviously smartwatches are now packing more, and the Prime model represents the most you can get in terms of hardware at the price point. Let me show you why. Arriving in a not too fancy box, but still looking decent and well protected, inside the box we can find the watch. Like most other Kospet models, it arrives with a screen protector. First very obvious fact, it is large. Just a comparison, 1.6-inch screen size compared to the majority, which are about 136, 139. 1.85 centimeters thick, which feels like a lot. And I was surprised to see that it is only 3.5 millimeters thicker than the Amazfit Stratos, but while I feel comfortable often to be sleeping with the Amazfit Stratos, this one, the Kospet Prime, feels very uncomfortable for sleeping. And when noting that it doesn't really support sleep tracking, it makes it a good daytime watch, but certainly not a device I'd pick to wear while sleeping. Technology of the screen is IPS, so colors are not too vivid, and in dark rooms you're gonna see the imperfections of the backlight when lighting up in black areas, but it is overall an excellent display with rather good colors, good saturation and contrast, and the remarkable 400 by 400 pixel density. On top of that, multi-touch. Pinching in and out works fine as long as the app that you use is supporting the feature. Underneath the display, there's a quad-core MediaTek CPU, which is meant to be as effective as the Snapdragon 425, which is used in last year's Xiaomi Redmi Go smartphone, for example. Underclocked to 1.25 GHz for battery-friendlier operation. The remarkable combo of 3 GB RAM and 32 GB storage. And so far, we know that the watch counts on as much computing power as a budget smartphone, at a way smaller scale. The biggest selling point here is the battery. Since we compare it to a smartphone, yeah, with these 1260 mAh, it can last for 2 to 3 days with moderate usage. If you have more screen on time, 4G connectivity, and a lot of things that are synchronized, it's gonna be more like a day, day and a half. With conservative usage, location services off, Wi-Fi off, and some optimizations, up to 4 or even 5 days are doable. But to put it straight, while the battery capacity is great, this is an Android smartwatch, so battery life is not its main strength. Of course, these two cameras are the other key selling point. Neither of them will be close to a smartphone's camera quality, but when we think about discreetly spying on someone, it makes really good sense. While testing the Kospet Optimus, I mostly use the camera to impress my friends by showing them that such a thing exists. Kospet are bringing the setup of the Prime to a new level with the face unlock feature, which is fine, seems to work most of the time, but again, its usage is rather questionable. Still, it is good to see that a budget-oriented company thinks about improving security, because if you run a lot of accounts on the watch and you're annoyed by typing an unlock password all the time, this is a great and convenient way to unlock it. There's 4G slot, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GPS, everything that a regular smartphone would have, even a microphone and a speaker, and also a heart rate sensor. No continuous 24/7 tracking though. It is not waterproof and also doesn't shine with outstanding build quality. Actually, it seems to be well built, but I disliked it big time because of the strap. It is some sort of plastic with rubberized coverage, it is not soft, and the Kospet Prime is the first watch in a long time that I was taking off my wrist when using the PC keyboard. Luckily, you can order the watch with a few variations of straps which feel better. Moving on to the software side, it is Android, so if you have a phone running this operating system, it's gonna feel familiar. There are two navigation buttons. The top one turns on and off the display and acts as a power button, and also back or home button, and the bottom one also acts as a back button. Little weird. Long press of the top button triggers the power menu. No long press functionality assigned to the bottom one. App launcher looks like this, rather easy to use, as long as you don't have too many apps. I've even tried running some benchmarks out of curiosity, and latest Geekbench and Antutu tests didn't start at all, but downgrading Antutu to version 5.7 was an improvement. Remarkable, with a 22,000 score, this is not bad at all. There's a special mode which brings better compatibility for some third-party apps, and basically it zooms them out so that you can tap the links which are otherwise inaccessible. If you use the SIM card slots, the watch can be fully functional as a smartphone, and you can make phone calls. Probably the best way to do that is using a Bluetooth headset. Test it with a Tribit X Tune, and it works really well. Unfortunately, you can't use the watch to take calls from your smartphone via Bluetooth, because when paired with the app, it doesn't let you use it as a Bluetooth speaker. The other annoying part are the notifications. They are enabled by default for every single app, so if you run Google Maps on the phone, it makes the watch constantly vibrate unless you go and disable the Maps notifications. Trust me, this can drive you crazy. Best practice: disable the notifications for most of the apps that you use. Another weak side, and that's always been like that for Kospet, the screen lights up when you lift the wrist really slowly, takes about a second. To the watch navigation again, nicely grouped quick toggles, music control, and yeah, you can play back music that is stored on the watch locally. Spotify can work, of course. Messaging, you cannot respond if the notification is forwarded from your phone, but if you get one from your separate WhatsApp running on the Prime watch, then it works. No continuous heart rate and unfortunately weak implementation of sports activities. The embedded apps don't even let you use the GPS, so maybe you can run Strava. It's gonna feel a little better. Here's a surprise, a nice one. A wireless update, it felt like a miracle and gives me hope about these kind of watches, because no matter how many things you can do on Android, the best use case for Kospet Prime is to be your secondary phone, because it can do that pretty well. For tracking sports and health, not quite. At the end, I'm with kind of mixed feelings. Very much recommended for a device with a SIM card, and having WearOS being quite weak at that side, maybe the Kospet Prime is one of the best with such functionality. But if you're seeking for sleep tracking and sport activities, I'm sure you can find better matches if you look up the playlist linked to this video. And one question bothers me during the whole time, considering how much of computing power this smartwatch has and also the previous Kospet models. I'm wondering how much longer it's gonna take them to start doing real smartphones. Thank you so much for watching this review. Don't forget to check the description of the video for a direct link to get the product at the best possible price. And now, let me show you the sponsor of this video, Recover It by Wondershare, which can help you with recovering of important lost data from your hard drives, SSDs, USB flash storage, or even your micro SD cards. Supporting more than 550 data formats and advanced deep scanning algorithm, it can achieve a record high data recovery rate for more than 96%. Easy to download, easy to set up, easy to use. While showing you how it can actually scan and recover data, let me tell you that the software can recover up to 100 megabytes for free. Data recovery is usually expensive, and using Recover It, you can save a lot of money and time. Make sure to check the description of the video for more info. Now wishing you a lovely day and see you next time.